معرفة.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum Ikram. How are things?
Walaikum assalam, Hussam. There's a little problem. That is the reason why I'm calling.
What is the problem?
We have excess liquidity and placement options are not easy to find.
Is it? Let me talk to Bank O, and if required, we will go and meet. I will call you shortly to discuss the plan.
Okay.
I have discussed with Rashid from Bank O. Let us meet downstairs at 10 to go and meet him.
Sure. I will be there.
Assalamu alaikum Rashid. How are you? It is good to meet you after a long time.
Hey, walaikum assalam, Hussam. After such a long time. So tell me, what is the problem?
Well, as discussed, there are a few liquidity issues which we are facing. As you know, banks face both excessive liquidity and liquidity shortage problems.
Oh, I see. Which products you are using to manage the liquidity?
Well, our bank has been dealing with the issue of managing its liquidity through various products and money market instruments.
Yes, I agree. Liquidity management is a process of placing and seeking the liquidity.
We have commodity murabaha instrument, and with this instrument we either place funds with Islamic financial institutions or receive funds from them. In this product, an Islamic financial institution purchases a Sharia compliant commodity and sells it to the Islamic bank on deferred payment terms, adding its profit margin. The commodity desk of the purchasing bank further sells the commodity in the market to generate the liquidity.
We too have something similar, a product called Wakala instrument to manage the liquidity. This instrument is operated under the principle of Wakala, which is an agency agreement, where we act as the agent to achieve an agreed expected rate of profit for an agreed number of days by investing it in our business. If we don't achieve the expected profit rate due to the reasons beyond our control, the depositing bank is entitled only to the realized profit. How are you addressing the risk management?
You see, from Islamic perspective, minimizing risk or mitigation of risk or preventing risk in a Sharia compliant way is always encouraged as it preserves the wealth. The challenge of market risk, profit rate risk, currency exchange rate risk, etc. has made risk management an important aspect of the Islamic financial institutions as well. We have developed a variety of instruments to meet the challenges of risk management.
To manage profit rate risk, what instrument do you have?
It is an agreement between two parties to exchange the profit rates. So a fixed profit rate is exchanged against a floating profit rate. In our structure, each of the parties issues an independent and unilateral undertaking, which is known as VAD, to enter into a murabaha transaction on a specified date. The parties enter into murabaha contracts to sell Sharia compliant assets to each other for immediate delivery and usually on immediate payment. After executing the actual underlying transactions on the trade date, the obligations of both the parties are set off, and consequently, the party in the money gets paid for any difference.
What instrument is designed to meet the current rate risk?
There are two instruments, namely FX forward and FX spot, to meet the challenge of currency rate risk.
We too have something similar. FX forward involves exchange of currencies between two parties, with a promise or undertaking, WAD, by one party to buy the specified currency against another specified currency, on a specified rate and on a specified future date. FX spot is the exchange of two currencies on a spot.
Yes, you are right. But the basic rules for this type of instruments are that the transaction should be executed on spot and both currencies must be delivered to both parties simultaneously. Any deferment of one or both of the currencies will make the transaction deferred, thus not compliant to Sharia principles. However, the contemporary Sharia scholars have permitted a delay of 2 days in FX spot transaction due to the cut-off time in different geographical locations.
Does it mean the parties can enter into the FX spot contract today, but the actual transaction may occur after 2 days?
Not really. The delay is related only to the physical delivery of the relevant currencies, but the trade shall always be executed on spot.
What about Islamic option?
This instrument is structured using the Islamic contract known as Bay al-Arbun.
You mean the earnest money?
Right. Islamic option gives the right to buy or sell based on the advance payment on the price of goods. The seller retains the Arbun amount in case the buyer withdraws from purchase or sale contract. Hence, the downside risk in this instrument is limited to the amount paid for Arbun. Profit is realized if the market price of the asset goes higher than the locked-in price.
The discussion was very helpful. Indeed, we would like to support your bank so that your liquidity concerns are addressed. Let me call Masood from our Treasury department, who will take this forward.
Jazakallah for this help. Many thanks.
The pleasure is mine.